Welcome to Growing Up Boomer. I'm your host, Padre, with my co-host, Professor. And this podcast is dedicated to the life and times of the Baby Boomer generation. The show is loosely scripted, and sometimes we'll go down rabbit holes, and where it leads us to, one will never know. This podcast can be informative, funny, and sometimes irreverent. But most of all, we hope you find it entertaining.
I'm doing good, Padre. I am enjoying the nice, warm summertime weather.
Oh, that is nice, isn't it?
It is nice, and the veggies are coming in. The tomatoes are starting to come in, and the berries are starting to come in. Exciting times.
Yeah, but with us, it's about 70 degrees. It'll be 79 degrees all week, so it'd be just perfect weather. Very little wind, just perfect.
Oh no, we went through a hot spell. We got 92 today, and then I think come the weekend it's supposed to get down in the upper 70s, which is more normal.
Oh yeah.
Did we say we were talking about something today?
Yeah. Today we are talking about everyday traditions that define baby boomer childhood.
You're talking the 50s and 60s.
50s and 60s when you and I grew up.
Yeah. Well, I there was a lot of traditions, okay, that we talked about, our common practices and things that and I don't think much of them, maybe some of them are still valid now, but they really got their origination back then. So yeah.
I don't know, but did you remember? I mean, the first one was kind of like you had to drink milk with every meal.
I remember drinking milk a lot, and milk was just a staple, absolutely, and orange juice. What I don't remember if I drink orange juice in between meals or if I sometimes had it with a meal. But milk was, you had to drink your milk. Done deal.
Yeah. It wasn't a tradition. It was the law.
Okay. Well, in your house, but my house was a little different than your house.
No.
Yeah.
It was the law. And I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, it had to be, Big Dairy had to be sponsoring this. Did you ever have I don't know if this was local or whatever. Did you ever have a kids program called Sheriff John?
It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh yeah. And they would have red light and green light, and you'd have to get milk. And you'd get milk, and you'd say green light, and you drink the milk, right? And it's getting all over your face. And then the red light, then you'd stop. The whole idea was to drink a glass. And what made him great, right, was his birthday song.
Okay.
Right. Kathy still sings the birthday song to her kids, to her sister, whenever their birthday comes up. He used to go, put another candle on your birthday cake. And when you do a wish you make, put another candle on your birthday cake. You're another year old today.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. You're another year old today. Dun, dun. I mean, that was big time. But
okay.
This is what kills me about this. You and I can remember little ditties like that, lyrics of songs, but we can't remember why we went into the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, I get that part. That short-term memory stuff. So speaking about a memory from a while ago, here's a little milk story for you. We had, I don't know if you knew them, the Simpsons. They lived across the street from us. There was Michael and Nikki and, oh God, what was her name? Anyway, they were the same age, the same sex as our kids, and lived across the street, one house down. And they were back and forth all the time. Well, Justin spent the night over there one day, and they're having breakfast. And Craig is a milk like you. It was the law. So he said, Justin, drinking milk. And he said, I don't like milk. Justin, drinking milk. I don't like Justin, drink your milk. He drank his milk and vomited all over the table.
Well, sometimes that had that effect.
There you go. So Craig got his comeuppance there, if you will. Okay. And maybe he won't push us another kid. Maybe he learned. So anyway, but do you remember when I grew up, we got the milk in the milk boxes right outside the door. I remember going outside, opening them up and getting that. And they didn't, I'm trying to think if they only came in gallons or they came in quart size. I don't remember, but we used to get them, and it was great having the milkman. It was a nice little tradition.
Yeah, the ones that we received were quart size.
Okay.
They're like a little 6-pack, a wood case, a little 6-pack, and there's
Okay.
6 quarts and stuff like that.
Okay.
But the thing is, you also got charged for the carrying case.
Okay. We didn't have a carrying case. They just put the bottle straight in.
Yeah, no, there was just little carrying
Well,
cases.
you might, well, I wonder if you got more milk than us. That's why you got the 6. I don't remember getting that many bottles, but I don't remember. But I know it was kind of like, not so much for me. I did sometimes. It's kind of like when, you go out and pick up the newspaper. It's kind of like that, that routine, that daily thing. It's just home life type stuff. So I know it sounds crazy, but I kind of sort of miss it. It'd be nice to go out and get your milk from your milk box.
Well, let's put it this way. Everybody thinks this. Remember, during the pandemic, we did a lot of
Instacart.
Yeah, we did a lot of Amazon, and the stores were. I said, we're going back to the 50s. That's the way it always was around our house. Everybody came around, dropped the stuff off. If you wanted something from the store, you call the local little store, and they would deliver it.
Well, you okay? You lived in a neighborhood like that. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have to go. We planned our shopping, except for the milk and stuff like that. So. Anyway, but I remember that. But drinking milk now, now I don't know if you remember, but in 1955, milk was 93 cents a quart, and in 65, it was $1.05 a quart. Mm-hmm. But my favorite milk was either Nestle's, Borden's, or Carnation chocolate milk. Give me either one. I don't care. Any of them. That was good.
Oh, did you do the strawberry quick?
I wasn't a strawberry quick person, but I did get in Nestle's quick. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh, that strawberry quick. That was the best.
No,
oh man.
I'm a chocoholic.
And the powder and the syrup. That was the best.
Yeah, strawberry wasn't my thing. I kind of got into strawberries a little later in life. So yeah. So that was fun. But and I know we've talked about this in the past. Especially in the summertime. Okay, like now, basically when school was out until, school was in, okay, you're out of the house all day long. Be home by dinner, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I was, the saying is be home by the time the streetlights are on. And, if you're talking about, it's getting darker, that's true. But we just had to be home by dinner, okay? It really didn't matter. Whenever dinner was, okay, we had to be home. Streetlights, no streetlights, or anything else. And so that's what we lived by. So it was 6 o'clock in my house. I was home for dinner. I could go out after dinner, depending on what was going on. And one thing that I just heard that might be going bye-bye, where I lived, and this was in New Jersey, okay, we had fireflies in the summer. Now that was a blast. So I would go out after dinner, it's just getting darker, and collect fireflies and all that kind of stuff. Man, I like that. So now I think, you live by the streetlights probably.
Oh yeah. We're in the city. Oh, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. You come home for dinner, then you're out. Mm-hmm. You're out the entire day. You come home for dinner, and then you're out again. Yeah.
Of course, one of the reasons why I got home at 6 o'clock, or in the wintertime, I'd be home by 5. Okay, because then I could watch the Mickey Mouse Club before dinner. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was like, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old at that point. Yeah. So, yeah, it's cool stuff. So, yeah.
And then how about always wearing your Sunday best to church, family gatherings, and remember this, and restaurants?
I don't remember. I remember we went to Temple. Okay, my dad and I went to Temple. And for you're talking about your Sunday best. I would wear a pair of pants and a decent shirt. That was it, except it was the high holy days. It was the high holy days. Then I think I ended up with a tie on, and it was probably a bow tie that I can kind of sort of recall. That was about the only time be more formal. Yeah, that was my Sunday best. It was on Saturday. So there you go. So. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or I should have said, well, no, that was the Sunday go to meeting. But having said that, because family gatherings, and I don't know why they did this, but they made you wear your Sunday best for family gatherings. Now, you got to remember, right? my heritage is Mexican.
Mhm.
I had 13 uncles and aunts. So you can imagine how many cousins I had.
Yep. Yep. You had a lot of cousins,
And man, and we could only hold it at certain uncles' houses that were big enough to
Sure.
handle all of us.
Sure.
And
Sure.
we would come back filthy, and then we would end up getting in big trouble.
Mhm.
How can you ruin your Sunday best?
It serves you right for making my kids wear the Sunday best.
Yeah. And then the other one was, of course, dinners as well. When
Yeah.
we went out to dinner. Now, we were very poor, so going out to dinner was a big, big deal in our house. Big deal,
Yeah.
So,
I don't remember going out to dinner much at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But it was a big deal for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So wearing your Sunday best. Now, one thing that you talk about law in your house on the milk. Okay, law in our house was dinner at the dinner table every night. That was it. You sat down. You did everything you needed to do. At dinner was at dinner o'clock. Dinner was at 6:00. Okay, every night. So that was it. And everybody was home. It was just my brother and myself, and so we were all ready for dinner, and we did our thing. And of course, back then, there was no phones to interrupt the conversation. Okay, I mean, you had a landline because that's all there was, and we'll talk about that at some point. The type of phones which we've done, and so basically there was either some talking, or you got the clinking, or passing of dishes, and so on and so forth. You got the noise, about stuff. We talk about daily events. How was your day? A lot of families don't do that anymore. They eat differently, and that's probably too bad. Now, I imagine you had family dinners that way also.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Come on,
the
you're kidding, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. And you were there when Dad sat down. Then everything was quiet.
Yeah.
Dad had a busy day all day. Didn't want anybody disturbing him. Remember, this was the age. What did they used to say? Children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Now there was talking at my table. Okay, we didn't. Yeah, there was talking.
Yeah.
So it was a little more relaxed. But I don't know about you, but we had some definite rules in my house of etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
So we were, I won't say beaten on, not literally, obviously, but we were strongly encouraged to follow family manners, and to eat around the clock. I don't know why was my mother's thing. Eat around the clock. Don't just eat one thing. Eat some of this. Eat some of this. Eat some of this. Don't ask me what that's about. I have no idea. Okay, but elbows off the table. Okay, had to have the elbows off the table. Napkin in your lap. Had to have a napkin in my lap. And that was my household.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree with you too as well. And the other thing was, speaking of manners, how about you always had to answer everyone with a yes sir or yes ma'am.
Oh, you know what? I tried to get our kids to do that, and they've done it. But these days, that's gone missing. It really that needs to come back. Yes sir. No. Yes please. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yes sir. No sir. No ma'am. Okay, all of those things. And in addition to all just that, I mean, we were taught to open doors for elderly people, okay, hold doors for people, okay, and stuff like that. And one thing that we were taught in the Jewish religion, there's something called a mitzvah, which is a good deed, and we were taught to do a mitzvah every day. So, and those are different ways that we could do about holding doors and this or that. So, yeah, I wish all that was around now. I think the world might be a little bit better place, a little more peaceful, perhaps.
Well, the thing was, it was yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and that was drilled into me so much that I was still using that in the 90s and in the 2000s.
I still use it.
I would say, I mean, some of my supervisors were 10 years younger than me, and I'd still say yes, sir.
I get it. I understand.
Saying that.
Yep. No, I still use it. I mean, not all the time, but I still use it in appropriate situations. Absolutely. Now, get this one. Certainly, if I'm dealing with an elderly person, okay, I will definitely use it. Okay. I may not use it with a young person, but I still use it though.
Wait. an elderly person?
I was waiting for you to get in on that one.
We are older than most people.
Yeah, so now you understand how often I have to do it.
Yeah. You don't have to use it much, do you?
Not as much as I used to, put it that way.
Yeah.
But I still use it, and depending on the circumstances. So yeah.
But yeah, the other thing is you always made eye contact. Shaking hands was big time as well.
And you stood up to shake a hand. Always
Yes.
you stand up to shake a hand, and you make eye contact and a firm grip. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. I used to have, I actually got it from the Rotary Club. I got it there. Speaker came. The handbook guide or something like that. It was a very interesting book about different types of handshakes, what the meanings are, the psychology behind them, and everything else. There was more to it than just eye contact and shaking hands. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you remember the S&H green stamps?
Oh, you know what? I do not. But I will say this. We use blue chip stamps.
Oh, it's the same thing.
It's the same
It's the
thing.
same thing.
One's
Okay.
blue, one's green.
Yeah. Tomato. It's the exact same thing. So, and I remember those are fun. We used to collect those, and I was the one that stuck them in the book. Okay, that was my job to stick them in the book, and then it was just a matter of what you were going to turn in for. And I'm trying to remember what I don't remember specifically what we got, but shoot, you can get anything from blenders and toasters and lawn chairs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. And that was the early days. That was kind of like the original. I don't mean to jump in. Those were kind of like the original loyalty programs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they really started.
Yeah. I remember having my tongue taste like glue because you had to lick those stamps. That was your job, to put them in the books, and you had to lick them. They weren't to peel off and stick.
Nope.
You had to lick them babies.
And we weren't smart enough to get a sponge. We weren't smart enough to get a sponge to do it. We used our tongue.
Oh no. We just licked them, and that was it. And after a while, you're like, oh, God, this tastes terrible. But I remember we always got every year a barbecue.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty big one, but it was nothing, not like the barbecues today. It was, a little thin, but I mean, it was pretty big because we would barbecue a lot during the summer.
With charcoal.
Yeah, charcoal. Yeah.
Sure.
An old charcoal grill, and it was great. It was great. I always have good fond memories of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably got a blender, but I don't know. I don't remember specifically what we got. Maybe in a toaster, stuff like that. But that was kind of fun to look forward to. That it was just a little extra thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
How about Saturday morning cartoons?
Oh well, Saturday morning TV. Okay, for me, because there was certainly cartoons, but there's other shows that I watched. But that was great. I mean,
what shows did you watch?
Well, Huckleberry Hound. Okay, as the matter.
That's a cartoon.
I know that's very cartoon.
Okay.
I watch more other shows. I mean, but every once in a while I watch Woody Woodpecker, Bugs Bunny, Captain Kangaroo, which is not a comic. Okay, and Howdy Doody, which I would watch, and Sky King, and Andy's Gang, which I loved. Andy's Gang. Oh, Froggy. What was that? Hey, Froggy. What was something about Froggy? I don't remember what it was. Sherry Lewis and the puppets. The Lone Ranger. And I loved Modern Farmer. Okay, I don't know what it was about that, but I would not miss that on a Saturday. Was watching those fields getting sowed and plowed and the hay. I don't, whatever it was, and dairy and stuff. I really got into that. I guess maybe I ended up going to an agricultural technical school for a couple of years, my associate's degree. And so I don't know where that came from, but that was great. And I'm all by myself. I'd be the one that get up there watching it. And I had time to myself.
Do you remember Romper Room?
I do remember Romper Room. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
See, both Romper Room and Sheriff John were getting us ready for social media. Because if you remember, she would look through her magic mirror or whatever it was, her magic glass, and she would say, "Oh, I see Timmy out there, and I see," and Sheriff John would do the same thing when he sang the Happy Birthday song. right? Oh, and let me say, oh, it's Timmy's, and Timmy's birthday, John's birthday, Debbie's birthday, and so of course, if he said your name because you sent in a letter, you think, oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows it's my birthday.
Yeah.
So it was just they're getting us ready for social media.
They were working on the kids. Get the kids, and you got them for life. Get them now, you got them for life, right? Yeah, when they're young. Yeah. What shows did you watch?
Oh, you know what, Sheriff John. The reason why I like Sheriff John is because he did have cartoons as well, and he had two of my favorites: Underdog and what was it? Crusader Rabbit.
Oh, I remember Crusader Rabbit.
Yeah. But I think we talked once before. You don't remember Super Chicken.
No, I don't remember Super Chicken.
You need to look them up on YouTube. Just listening to the song is a crack up. Oh, gee.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember what his name was, but he's like a Batman.
Okay.
He's this a big business magnate and stuff like that. He is just rich beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
But he drinks his special super sauce and he becomes Super Chicken with it looks like a Three Musketeers with a blade, and he goes and then one of the lyrics is, and it looks like when you're going to take a licking. Okay, something like you call for Super Chicken. Call for Super Chicken.
Yeah.
You need to look it up on YouTube. You will laugh.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will.
And his sidekick is Fred, and the F is backwards.
Okay.
And I think there's a story about why it's backwards. That they messed up when they were doing it, when they did the first one, and somehow it came out backwards when they filmed it.
Right.
They liked it so much they kept it. And this poor guy always getting the short end of the stick.
Okay.
And it's always Super Chicken's always telling them, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred. Yeah, but just look it up. You'll laugh.
That's funny. That's funny. Now, I don't remember, again, early listening to the radio. Did you listen to radio stuff?
Yes, I did, but not in the traditional sense.
Okay.
I listened to transistor radio, the Dodger games on KFI.
Okay.
AM.
I listened to some music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, you know what though? I'm trying to think. Maybe I did listen. I probably did listen to ball games, but I tried to watch them on TV if I was going to. I would rather watch them on TV. Yeah.
You remember the transistor radio had the little ear thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
In school, and you just pop that little ear thing in. So
yeah.
The nooner.
Try to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading my book.
You just have it already set up, and but don't forget, I went to LA Unified, so the classes were huge.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sat in the middle, teacher would hardly ever notice whatever come by, and as long as you did your work, that's all she cared.
Yeah. I believe it. I don't remember. Really don't remember listening to radio shows. And maybe there was a news event or something that the parents put on. I might have listened to. I don't remember listening to the radio for stuff other than maybe ball games until Muhammad Ali in the Olympics, and that's when I started. And I think I listened to a couple of fights. Okay, on the radio. So I know we talked about him recently, but. That was the extent, but a lot of people that's where you got your entertainment. That's where you got your news.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you have drive-ins up where you were at?
I was thinking about that, and I don't think I went. My first drive-in, I think, was when I was in college.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even think I went in high school because I was living in New York then. And in New Jersey, I don't remember drive-ins. I just don't. But they're cool. I mean, I loved them. I mean, we took our kids to drive-ins and so on. Yeah. How many kids did you put in the trunk?
Oh, how many?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a truck, so we just.
Oh, you had a truck. Oh, just put everybody in the back. Okay.
Put everybody with a shell, and it was all tricked out. That's when you could ride in the back of trucks.
Yeah. Back in the old days. Yeah.
And it had little seats, and the kids had a great time back there. You had to open up the back, But yeah, we would. I went to the drive-in quite a bit with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool because you could bring in your own food.
Mm-hmm.
Homemade popcorn, sandwiches, and
bring what you want. Sure. Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I remember my dad, we'd always go. Well, I saw every biker movie ever made from 1968 down, and every Godzilla movie ever made from 1968 down. Those were the two he loved. He loved those.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. And the cars were so huge back then.
Oh, they were big cars.
Yeah. It was my dad had a 1960 Chevy Impala that I eventually bought from him.
Mm-hmm.
That was just awesome. The ones with the wings.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the 59? They used to call them cats and bats because they had that funky tail light that looked like cat eyes. Yep. Yeah. So if I got tired, I had a blanket, just went to sleep.
Yeah. They were big boats. I just saw a 60, I think it was 64 or 65 Pontiac Bonneville. Talk about a big boat. Holy moly. Huge. Absolutely huge. But you could put a lot of people would put people in the trunk and whatever to try to get people in. But anyway, it was fun. Now I'm sure a lot of houses were like this, certainly back in the 50s and 60s. Today people have multiple TVs. How many TVs in your house?
Oh, only one.
Seriously?
That's it. Oh, you mean now? Me?
Now?
Oh yeah. Well, my computer screen's a TV.
Okay, but how many TVs? Just one TV?
Oh, one in every room. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. Okay, so we only have 3. Okay, but back in the days, there's one TV, and so you'd have to figure out who's going to watch what and when. Okay, and sometimes you got outvoted and so on, but it was a single TV. That was all that there was.
Okay,
and they would be small TVs. They might be a tabletop. It wouldn't be what maybe could be 9 inches, 10 inches. 12 inches. Okay,
we have computer screens bigger than the TVs we had.
Our smallest computer screens are bigger. I know.
Now, let's put it this way. If you got to remember this, Professor, I came from a Hispanic household. That means what Dad wanted to watch. Mm-hmm. That's what we watched. There was no voting.
Okay, got it.
We watched what Dad wanted to watch. End of story.
Yeah. I don't remember my parents watching a lot of TV. Mm-hmm. But I remember watching football games with my dad. I do remember that. And my Saturday morning. I'm sure I watched stuff with my brother and this or that. I don't remember all that. But back then, black and white TV was like $200. Yeah. You can't find one of those now unless it's an heirloom type thing. But that'd be like $2,600 today.
Yeah. Yeah. Adjusted for inflation, you ain't kidding.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And of course, remember how many channels there were?
Well, for us, it was 3 major channels: Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 11, and Channel 13. It was 2, 4, and 7 were the majors, and then we had minor TVs, which was Channel 5, Channel 9, 11, and 13.
Exactly. Yep. I remember that. Absolutely. Of course, back in the day, there was, and I remember watching this younger. Walter Cronkite was on CBS, so that's something we watched a lot. It was great. Mm-hmm. It was one single TV. That was it. And now they're all over the place. And you're right. You got screens you can watch on your iPhone. You can watch on your iPad. Screen. No wonder the world is the way it is. Okay.
Well, but let's be honest. Okay. There's not that many people. We think that everyone in the world is like us.
Isn't that true?
TVs and everything like that. Come on. A third of the world lives on $5 a day.
Can you imagine if we had to do that? Yeah, we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate. Grateful. I'm grateful that I'm not in that situation. So yeah.
And the other third of the world lives on $2 a day.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. That's there's the underclass, the middle class, and everybody else on your
Mhm.
scale right there, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's very true. We are very
You and
um,
I, in the world order, would be considered the top 1%.
I know that. I know. It's amazing. It's a very rich country we have, and we
Mhm.
got a lot of things a lot of people don't have. So we're very fortunate. We are. So do you remember watching the moon landing?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that
69.
was big
Yep,
time.
yep.
But you know what was more amazing than that?
What?
The Mets winning the World Series.
That was something. That really was something.
That's the miracle.
Was the miracle. That was the miracle in the 60s. Yeah. Was the Mets winning
Hapless
the
Mets.
Yeah. They did. And nobody thought they were going to do it, even though they were going to the playoffs. They're not going to do it, and they just kept on doing this momentum, and they ended up doing it. So yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the first year of the playoffs. That was the first year.
yeah, they were in the playoffs. So yes, that might have been the first year of the playoffs because I know that they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, they divided it because the teams had gone up to like 16 or 20 or something like that.
Mhm.
So they divided the
League.
divisions. They had the South, you had the West or East and West. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
So that was amazing. But yeah, the moonwalk was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch that. It really was.
But Professor, think about this. We spent all that money to get rocks.
Yes. Yes.
Get rocks.
Yes. Yeah, to get rocks, okay, and to say we were here first.
Yeah.
We number one. Okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I picked this rock right off the floor. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, who knows? We may have to be occupying the moon to be able to get through the changes on the Earth here. Not right away. It might take a little while, a few more hundreds of thousands of years, maybe, but whatever.
Yeah. We won't have to worry about that.
No, beyond my lifetime, I'm not going to worry about it, and my kids' and grandkids' lifetime. Although, our grandkids' lifetime, they could be people living on the moon, absolutely, or on Mars. So yeah, but that was really something. And so now I don't know what the answer to the question is, but I mean, our iPhones, our phones have more pixels in the camera than the entire TV. Okay, had back in those days. You remember how fuzzy it was? It's black and white, it's fuzzy. We weren't talking clear pictures. Okay, and it was in black and white, so you might have trouble. I'm thinking about in football. Okay, it was hard to see the lines and stuff. But it was weird. So
how about this? There was more computers in the cars today than there was on Apollo 11 when they landed on the moon.
Well, there's that, and the power of the computers in our phone now is more powerful than what was the computers were to get them to the moon and back.
Yeah, and you know what the computers were? Did you ever watch that movie, Hidden Figures?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Those were the computers.
Yeah, those were the
women.
computers.
The women who were figuring stuff out.
Yeah. Well, they had some computers on board. They had computers on the.
I understand,
yeah.
But most of the time, the calculations were all done by hand.
Oh no, it's totally different. Yeah, absolutely.
With the slide ruler.
Yeah, slide rule. Yep. That was the early days.
I got to tell you, remember Apollo 13, the movie with Tom Hanks?
Yes, I was just thinking about Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, okay, he knows about computers. Okay.
And that guy comes in, right? This guy comes in, and he throws his stuff on the desk, and he says, "You need to make this work and make oxygen, and we need to have it within so many hours." Right. And these guys are working frantically, and they're sliding. They got the slide ruler and back and forth. And at that time, I was electronic engineer. And so and then they had the oscilloscopes in the background, and going, what in the world is that? I said, that's an oscilloscope, for alternating current. It tells you, how much current's going through. And I said, well, what are they using? I said, that's a slide rule. What's that for? It's for making calculations. We didn't have calculators back then. We use a slide rule. And they're looking at me like there's horns growing out of my ears.
I know. Yep. I get it. I understand. Definitely different back then. Whew. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, kind of sort of going along with the TV thing, okay, and the black and white TV thing, okay. I know, well, TV, I mean, now you can watch something on TV 24/7 right now. You can watch a billion channels 24/7. You got stuff on. Back then, whenever that TV went off air, which was not late, it was maybe 11 o'clock, maybe midnight, maybe 10 o'clock, depending on when. Okay, you get the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you get, and you might get the if it's CBS, you might get the big number 2. You'd be watching the 2 and you get the anthem and stuff like that. So yeah, that's when you knew your TV was done.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch TV all night, so you went to bed. if your parents let you stay up that late.
I remember falling asleep, and it was always channel, I think it was 13. They used to have the chieftain with the big headdress. There's a big headdress on it, and there was the national anthem, and that was the signal, the off signal.
The sign off. That was a sign off. Yeah.
Yeah, the sign off signal.
Yeah, I don't remember watching 13 all that often, but I do kind of remember that. Yeah, interesting, because there weren't many channels back then, as we talked about.
Right.
Yeah, the main 3 or maybe 4, and some local ones that would get in there, which would go off earlier. So yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, did you ever get paddled in school?
No.
Never, huh?
No.
Yeah, I only got.
No, they didn't do that in my school. That I witnessed.
Oh, okay.
That I witnessed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just didn't have that, huh?
No, we all respected our teachers.
Come on. You didn't have any bad eggs in your school?
I'm sure there's some bad eggs. Okay, I just don't remember them.
Okay.
Not in elementary school. No. Middle school might have been a little bit different. Even in middle school, I don't remember. So I'm sure kids got in trouble. But I know I should have gotten in trouble sometimes, but I didn't get caught. So, that's, just have to do it the right way. But I know a lot of people in parochial schools. I mean, that's where I have heard about where that was most done in parochial schools. The nun sister would pop you. Yeah. Oh, Jackie, my wife, was telling me that when she was growing up, they used to paddles with holes in them. Right?
Yes, they did. Matter of fact, I was in wood shop, and we used to make them for the assistant principal. And we would get an award, whoever made the best one. And one year, this guy won it, and it was huge, right? It had the holes, but the handle was a bat handle.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy, I hope nobody ever used that. Oof.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was big time, man. We kept everybody in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever get spanked?
I got paddled one time, and it wasn't my fault.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, what ends up happening is that if you were sitting, you all had assigned seats, and if you're not sitting in your assigned seat, you got paddled.
Okay.
Well, what day this dude, who happens to be the baddest dude in the high school, decides he wants to sit in a certain spot. Well, nobody's going to tell him that's my spot. So everybody moves over one. Okay. Well, I was such a wimpy kid that I got paddled. It was hardly anything. Just everybody else got it pretty good. But for me, it was just a little stink.
Little tap. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't get paddled in school or anything like that. Now, when I said, did you get spanked? I was talking about, did your parents ever spank you?
I only had one time. One time, that's all I needed.
Okay.
And it was for use of a word that I have never used ever since. It was the N word. I had no idea what it was, right? My first year in kindergarten, and they picked teams, right? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe.
Right.
So this kid used the N word instead. Ooh. I had never heard it. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I had no idea. Never heard that word in my entire life. I take it home. My mom goes, well, what did you learn today? Oh, I learned how to pick teams. It says, how did you, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a blank by the toe. And here comes the hand. Boom.
Wow.
Don't you ever use that word again. I have never, even to this day, have never used that word. It is in my psyche.
Well, so what you're telling me is you never used the word nincompoop since then.
Nimrod. Oh man, I have but that I remember that, and oh no, there was another time I did something, and it was with the wood spoon.
Okay, got it.
That was it.
No, I didn't get spanked often, but I remember my parents when I was under 10, a couple of times, and then I remember I think I was 11, and my mom, I don't know what I did. My mom spanked me, and I just laughed, and that was it. That was it. It was done. That was it. She just gave up and figured that wasn't going to work. So, I mean, I'm not, she was single parent at that point. My dad had just died not all that long ago. So she wasn't the disciplinarian. So, but I was a pretty good kid. I was pretty good at not getting in trouble. It wasn't meaning I wasn't getting into trouble situations, if you know what I mean. But I was pretty good at avoiding the getting caught part.
Yeah, I was going to say getting caught.
Yeah, that was it. So yeah, but I did go to the principal's office on a couple of occasions, but nothing major, nothing big. Hey, now another big one though, and especially with talk in the news these days about nuclear programs. Do you remember nuclear bomb drills?
Oh yeah, drop drills.
Yep,
that's what we call them, drop drills.
Yep. Drop, cover, and roll, whatever you had to do. Absolutely, that was Cold War, and I remember that. I remember hearing about that, and probably, I guess we watched some news shows. We did watch the news in my house. Now I'm thinking about, well, in my early teens, we watched the news in my house, so I kind of was up to date on some of the stuff, and that was kind of scary. Okay, thinking about the Cold War and Russia and the U.S. and all this nuclear arsenal and everything else, and duck and cover and everything else, and there was a whole big deal about making bomb shelters. People would. I think I remember in our house I think we talked about. We didn't do it, but it was a discussion I remember hearing. So, yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, we never. You know what? My parents never made a big deal about it. I'm sure they were worried, but they made sure the kids did not have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Okay, what was it? 1962 or the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have nuclear weapons 90 miles off the coast of the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then we thought, oh, but that's the East Coast. We're the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's not going to get over.
Yeah, I was on the East Coast. Yeah. That was. So something that we grew up with, which in the relatively recent past started to go away, but now I understand is starting to come back in some places, is learning how to write cursive.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Didn't hear what?
That they're bringing that back.
Oh yeah, some school districts are starting to starting to do it again. Some, I'm not saying a lot, but just some. And I remember that. I mean, I can't print, I can't cursive. That's why they said I should be a doctor, because you can't read my writing. But yeah, I remember, God, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've got a school picture of me when I was probably in first or second grade, okay, sitting at a desk with a pencil in my hand with the books, and the books had all the lines and everything on it, right? That was my picture. I think everybody did it like that. So, but I wasn't, my handwriting's horrible, but I remember trying to do it. I remember, the big lines, the little lines, and having to do all of that. And so the benefit though, at this point of still learning to write cursive is so that you can read cursive, because there are still things that come out in historical documents that are only in cursive. If you want to read originals, if they're translated and printed and on computer, well, then who cares? But anyway, that's my thing.
Well, my thing was that if you remember, cursive writing was best done by right-handed people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Did you ever watch the movie Rocky II?
Oh, I watched all the Rocky movies.
Okay. Remember cut me, Nick. Remember he was teaching, Burgess Meredith was teaching him to throw right-handed, and he tied his left hand down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Now you've played golf with me.
Yep.
And we've done a lot of stuff, activities together, athletic activities together, if you've noticed, I'm left-handed.
Yep, I know.
But I write with my right, because back in the day when they were doing cursive writing, if you were left-handed, they made you put your left hand on the side and they forced you to use your right hand.
Interesting.
If they caught you with your left hand doing cursive, they would tie your hand to the desk.
Oh, wow.
So you could not pick up your left hand and switch the pen.
Wow.
So that's the reason why I write with my right hand and I do everything else with my left.
Wow. That's hardcore.
Hey, they did some pretty interesting stuff back in the day, man.
That is really hardcore. I'll tell you. Yeah. So, but watching left-handed people trying to write in cursive is it's like it's contortion. It's like you have to be a contortionist to do it.
It's difficult.
It is difficult.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. But hey, I turned out okay, I guess.
Yeah. My writing is most of the reason why my writing is horrible. Okay, because if I really focus and go slowly, I can do it very legible. But my head goes so much faster than my hand, in coming to writing. So I can't get the stuff out fast enough. So, so this is a little side thing. So I don't think I've ever seen your signature. Okay, can you read your entire signature?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Just want to make sure you're like me, because I get a few in there.
No,
it's done.
No. Let me put it this way. Mine is when I write, I do mostly everything printing, because if you remember back when I was a electronic major, you also had to take drafting because everything is printed. There was no CAD system or anything like that, so you had to make sure. I print mostly everything, but when I write, people make fun of me because they say I write like a woman. It's a lot of swoops and a lot of real,
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's okay, but my signature is terrible. I mean, it just looks like lines. That's all it is. And the reason for that is because I had to sign so many invoices.
I get it.
Invoices, and so I remember one time, one of my old jobs, they come into my office and they say, "We want you to start printing your name because we can't read your signature." He says, "Oh, really?" He says, yeah. So sign it and print your name. I said, how did you know to come see me? How did you know it was me? He says, well, we know that's your signature. He says, then why do I need to print it? You're in my office.
Because somebody else may not know you. There you go. Anyway, yeah, I know.
But they figured it out, didn't they? They figured it out.
They figured it out. Yeah, they did.
Well, here I am. You're in my office.
Yeah, I always used to on my signatures in the old days, I used to be painstaking. I would slow down to do it. Okay, not anymore. It's maybe a couple of letters in my first name and done. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's the way I am now. That's it. We're done. You can almost make out a J and you can almost make out an A.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. I get it. I understand. I do. So, so what was your favorite lunchbox to take?
Oh, I got to tell you right now. My favorite lunchbox was the Mickey Mouse bus. I carried that thing till it rusted out.
Yeah, no, I had a Davy Crockett lunchbox.
Oh, mine was Mickey Mouse. And the funny thing, it was a bus. It was an actual bus.
Yeah, I get it. I know.
And the funny thing is, who they have driving the bus?
No,
it's not Mickey.
No, it's not Mickey.
It's Goofy.
Oh, yeah, well, they kind of vision that. Yeah,
Goofy driving a bus. Right?
Well, I'm not sure if I want a mouse driving a bus either, but that's aside the point.
Yeah, but at least he's not mayhem walking.
Yeah, I know.
Goofy, what is like? Mickey. Mickey. Come here, Pluto.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. Lunchboxes are cool. They were cool. They were now, I'm trying to, a good lunchbox. If you have one of those, they're $500-600.
I was going to say that's what they're going for on eBay now.
Yep.
Well, just like one time on Facebook, I belong to this club, and they just do classic cars.
Mhm.
and they had a 60 Chevy blue. And I said, this was my first car that I bought for $500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they write back their minimum in good condition, $80,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Wow.
they only made those in 2 years. That was
Wow.
that style in 2 years.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. I'm trying to think of what I paid for my 442. $1,000 right around there sticks in my head.
Mine was $400.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I guess I overpaid. Anyway, yeah, we're going on a tangent. So yeah, but the lunch boxes, yeah, kids using them these days? Not
No. Don't forget to get free lunches these days.
well, yes, okay, a lot of kids do, but a lot of kids do take their lunch.
Mhm.
I know my granddaughters do,
Mhm.
but they don't. They're not themed things. They're just insulated bags and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't see much of them around at all. So, I know. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what else? Okay. Well, I know.
Riding bikes.
Well, riding bikes. Everybody rode a bike.
Yeah, but without a helmet. Without safety
Everybody rode without a helmet. There weren't any helmets.
Yeah.
There weren't helmets.
Whoa! There was football helmets.
I'm talking about for kid sport things. Okay.
But you still wear
If
a
you're
helmet.
playing baseball, you wear a helmet. Okay, I get that. Football, you wear a
No,
helmet. But I'm not,
No,
you're not
no,
riding a
remember-
bicycle.
Wait. When we were playing baseball as kids, there was no helmets.
No, you know what? You're right. I said that, and then I started thinking about it. I just remember wearing a hat. That's all I would wear. And I like those hats. I don't like these new style hats. I like the old hats, and we used to, like you do. You curve the bill and everything else. I don't like those straight bill things. I don't know what it is about it. Just not my thing.
Yeah, that's
So-
just the style. I remember.
I know.
I remember. I did a faux pas. We
Mhm.
were bringing out hats for our company, right, with their logos and stuff like that. And of course,
Sure.
it was flat, right? And they say, "Hey, look at this. What do you think?" I said, "It's not bad. I think we need to do a little bit of this with the logo. We need to have a marketing identity type of thing, right? Right, a branding. It's not quite there. We need to brand a little bit more." And so I took it and I did this. Oh God, the office went up. Oh, what are you doing? What am I doing? That's what you do with these hats. No, you don't know. You leave those flat.
Yeah. No, but now today, I mean, you have to wear a helmet. Okay. And it's obviously a safety thing. And, now you wear helmets for almost everything. Skateboards. I mean, if depending on your age, but of course it's kind of mandatory in most states. I think they have helmet laws for kids if you're under 18. Okay. So yeah. So yeah.
You talked about playing outside.
Yeah.
We're riding our bikes and everything. Hey, no supervision. In some cases, no supervision. But in all honesty, the neighborhood moms were your supervisors, because if you were doing something wrong, they'd call your mom
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah,
what so-and-so's doing out here?
Yeah. Yeah. You live in a different. I mean, living in Benicia, we used to tell our kids growing up, okay, guys, you better be careful and don't do anything wrong because we will find out. Okay. And sure enough, on a couple of situations, one of the kids did something, probably mostly Justin, and a parent would call and let us know. Okay.
Mhm.
So, yep, it was, that's the, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. Okay.
Let's put it this way. Kathy worked for the police department.
Yeah. That's right.
If
She
our
did.
kids did jaywalking, she found out. They were jaywalking. Hey, you know what? I saw jaywalking over here.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know growing up, I especially in Jersey, no supervision. We did what we want, when we want. I mean, I was in a safe area, so it wasn't a big deal. Would ride my bikes around. Down to the end of my street was like, it was at least an acre. Okay.
Mhm.
Of basically woods. So we'd go in there and make forts and stuff like that. Also, we had what we thought was a haunted house right next door. Boy, it took me years to go in. Took my friends and I years before we would open that door and go in there. So yeah, it was safe. I mean, I was fortunate to grow up in a safe neighborhood in Jersey. In New York, even in New York, when I was in New York City as a 12-year-old, early teen, I was out. There was no supervision in the city. I mean, I would hop a subway and go down to Greenwich Village, okay, by myself. I'd go here and there. So, yeah, things are different these days. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Or maybe we just didn't know how bad things were back then.
Well, back then there wasn't the 24-hour news cycle either. So it wasn't, it was definitely was different. So, yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of dangers, right? You're talking about bikes. I remember you talking about chemistry sets.
Oh, yeah.
And what was it? What did you say? What was it? We talked about
lawn darts.
Legos, but you had what was that?
Oh, I had the erector set.
Erector sets.
Right.
Well, if you can cut yourself, there you go, man.
Yeah. But that wasn't the dangerous. Lawn darts were, then, and of course, you don't really see them in these days. And I loved my chemistry set. I had a blast with it. I actually like chemistry. But it was the Gilbert chemistry set. And you remember the Whammo air blaster?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Remember we shoot that blast of airs and blast that ball. If you're too close to somebody, okay, you could be very dangerous. Make a poop an eye, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, you don't see those things anymore.
Oh yeah. You get them close and you shoot it in the air.
Oh God, whatever. Yeah. Poop. You could do that too. Yeah, I know.
Man.
It was. Yeah, that was. Those were the days. Now, did you ever build a go-kart?
No, but you know what? We used to have the neighborhood where I lived. I remember living in San Pablo Avenue, which was by Lincoln Park, had a huge hill. Had a huge hill, and because they had at the time there was housing. I think it's a Hyatt now.
Okay.
They tore all the houses down, but at the top was a records department for the county or the city. So they had to build a street all the way up there.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do is we'd take a red Flyer wagon.
Okay.
Take it to the top of the hill and go down. And when you're going down, right, with a kid,
yeah. No. Oh, I'm just thinking how many kids fell out of them and got hurt.
Oh, we all fell out.
Sure
you were just hoping it didn't hit you in the business, know?
I'm telling you.
But it started going and it was a long hill and it would come down and you'd end up in the grass, because it still was maintained because it was the county.
Right.
And so it was, but we had a blast. We didn't need to make go-karts.
No, I don't think I did a red wagon on a hill. That was kind of crazy to me because you can't really steer those suckers.
Oh, well, what do you want, man?
Well,
you're riding bikes without helmets.
Okay, if I told you some of the things that I've done, okay, you would think that doing what you did was just lightweight. Okay, but I don't think it's appropriate. I don't want if a kid's listening, I don't want the kid to listen to some of the stupid things I've done.
You know who we used to build go-karts for the Boy Scouts the Boy Scouts, and they would where the library is now used to have that long hill, and they would close the police, the Benicia police would close that hill, and we would do go-kart.
Yeah, the go-kart derby. They would do that every year. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Scott Reap was big in doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you remember this, but I remember going actually with my grandma, eating lunch or at a counter. Eating at a lunch counter in a department store or something like that. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Did you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, on spinning stools. Okay, would do that either in a diner, but in a department store. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember here Horn and Hard Art?
What was it?
Horn and Hard Art automats.
No.
My grandma used to take them to me. You should look it up. You go into this restaurant, got tables all over, but on the wall, basically, it was all see-through cubbies. Okay, and you would go in and you put money in it, and you would turn the knob, and you take it and take out your apple pie, or you'd open up and you take out your pasta, or whatever it is. I had a blast there. Loved them. Yeah. What else? Woolworths would do that at Woolworths.
Oh yeah, okay. That's where we went.
Okay. And back then we went to Chock full of nuts. Okay. which is still around these days.
Mhm.
So I remember that. So yeah, that was great. I had fun doing it.
For me, I went quite often with my mom because what would end up happening is that first of all, she'd always shop at the fashion district because the clothes were a lot cheaper there, or if she needed some material. And there was the Woolworths on Broadway there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there, and so we would eat there, and I think it's a Ross for less now or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we would eat there, and it was only like about 3 miles from our house, so we would take the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But then if she wanted to go to the show, we would eat at the South Broadway location, which is where some of the movie theaters and that one, they say, had the longest lunch counter in the world. They said it was 100 yards long.
No way.
That's what they
say.
Where
was that again? Where?
And this was South Broadway.
And it was a Woolworths?
LA. It's in LA.
It was a Woolworths?
Yes.
100 yards long. No. 100 feet long.
100 says 100 yards. That's what it says.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. Neither did I.
A Woolworths, was everything else in that Woolworths all Woolworths merchandise?
Yeah.
That's a huge building.
Yeah.
Huge building.
It was the Wilson building, I think it was.
Wow.
I just remember because everything looks big to me when you're like a 5-year-old kid.
Absolutely.
Okay? But that sticks to my mind because I remember my mom when she would go to shows and she'd take me with her. She would go basically to the Spanish shows.
Okay.
Okay. So I didn't care. I didn't speak Spanish. I had no idea what was going on the screen, but I would be eating my popcorn. That's all I cared. I had popcorn and I was happy as can be.
Sure.
I remember her only crying matter of fact, there's some movies I still remember that were in Spanish that have stuck in my mind. But I remember I remember her crying, and it was a movie about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And I remember the exact moment is when they put the crown of thorns on his head and he moans. The faucets came on with my mom. And she's just crying. I mean, oh my goodness. The other time she cried that I remember, she might have cried more than this, but I remember this one. She took me to see Bambi. Okay. And the line was, if you remember, the fire was going and the hunters were after him and, and he's running frantically. And then this big stud comes out, right? And he says, "You'll never see your mother again." Mm-hmm. Oh, man, my mom started crying. I'm going like, what's going on here, man? She was just crying like crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I remember with South Broadway, it was supposed to be the biggest Woolworths counter in the world.
Okay, well, that's big. If it's 100 yards, that's big.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, that's what they say. I mean, there's actually a website for that.
Huh.
I always look at stuff because I always like to look at stuff where I used to go as a kid.
Yeah.
Because we would have conclaves, and one time we went down to it was I can't remember what the hotel was, but it just happened that they were filming Betty White's birthday. And so we're having the conclave there, and it's tough getting in because all of these movie trailers are there and these wires are running, so you got to be careful stepping over. And so some of the guys were trying to break into, trying to crash the Betty White birthday party. But I thought, oh, you know what? My mom, I remember going down Alameda, right? And so it's we're in the real nice section of LA. So I go down and I said, okay, Alameda, and I'm just going to go back to my old house. Oh, I turned on Alameda. I thought I was in a third world country.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Tents. I mean, this is way back. This is not now. This is way, way back. All right. This has to be probably, well, you think about it. How long has Betty White been gone?
Yeah, right. For a while.
And so this was, I mean, it was just awful. I mean, oh, gee. And so I never traversed into LA again. It's just not it was just awful. Just awful. But I remember those. I remember the prices. God, it was like 10 cents for a BLT or something like that.
Oh, it was, yes, it was very inexpensive. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah, you
just
put,
remember
you
going
put a
there
few
with my
coins
mom.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there going there with my mom, just, and that's a big deal for a kid. And a
Mhm.
shake,
Mm-hmm.
man, that was just fantastic. So,
Mhm.
yeah. But
Yeah,
so I have very good memories of that. I don't remember a lot, but the stuff that I remember, it was like it happened yesterday for me.
Yeah, I know that. I agree because I could see me reaching in and getting stuff out of the automat and stuff like that. I remember sitting at a chocolate nuts counter. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Hey, you know what, Professor? We're running a little long. What do you say we bring this one to a close, buddy?
Well, it's not the first time we've run long. But I think that's a good idea.
Won't be the last either.
I probably won't be the last. All right, Padre. Talk to you later.
You have a great one, okay?
Yeah, see ya.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
We'd like to thank you for listening and remind you if you happen to have any baby boomer topics you'd like us to cover, just email us at growingupboomer@gmail.com. And until next time, may God bless.